All right, Alfred Teleferro, Mr. Teleferro TV. All right, man. Very interesting story that I thought I should cover because a lot of people are going to overlook this. We need to see something. We need to talk about this right now. And I'm going to get real in depth with it. Y'all know how I do. So, the chief executive of Quality Control, the label that the Migos on, did an interview with the New York Times, right? And he was talking about how the Migos were not allowed on late night shows like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and they're doing all these shows right now. They were just on Jimmy Kimmel Live doing Bad and Bougie. And he talked about how the Migos were not allowed on these late night shows before Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Donald Glover, shouted them out at the Golden Globes. We all know what he said. He was like, Bad and Bougie is my favorite song. Shout out to the Migos. And it kind of, the Bad and Bougie record was already number 2. It probably was going to be number 1 anyway, but that shout out really put it to number 1 in the country. And I think that's crazy. By the way, the Migos were on Donald Glover's show Atlanta as well. And the guy, the executive, is named Pete Thomas. He was like, they gave all kind of excuses. They were like, it's not the right time. It's not this. It's not that. They didn't want the Migos on there because they was niggas. And they make nigga music. And I think that's crazy in this day and age. Because y'all know who I am. I'm Telefair. I do a lot of college shows. I go to these clubs. Y'all know when I was in college a few months ago, I just graduated. I was doing a lot of college shows. I was out in these clubs, and I was out seeing the demographics of these of who was coming to these rap concerts, like when Amigos perform. Depending on the area, now if the show's in the hood, it's gonna be a hood crowd. It is what it is. But if the show is in just the center of a city, I'm watching these shows bring out predominantly white audience. So we can ignore what a rap group like the Migos, the music that they're bringing out, and you've seen it in the past, how BET didn't want Waka. I think one BET performance, they made Waka Flocka perform behind a screen. Go look it up. Chief Keef couldn't perform. They made Waka perform behind a screen, if I'm not mistaken. With Diddy, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't like that. Because the Migos represent our culture, no pun intended, because the album name Culture. And all you and other races out there who ain't put up on game about a group like the Migos, particularly y'all, the fathers, because the kids, the new 23-year-old white kid or whatever it is listening to the Migos. Period. They listening to Hannah Montana, Fight Night, all these records that the Migos got. They're listening to these songs. And I think that's utterly ridiculous that they were denied access on these shows, because a lot of these things that your average artist, that your average Macklemore, even if you listen to Ed Sheeran, sometimes in some of his raps, Logic and all these guys, and I enjoy these guys' music, man. I enjoy these guys' music, but we not just finna sit here and act like these dudes are talking about their daughters riding princesses and ponies and being princesses. These guys talking about a life too that maybe they lived or didn't live. And G-Eazy, shout out to G-Eazy. They're not talking about growing up in the suburbs. They're talking about that same stuff that the black artist is talking about, and they're getting this culture from us. Eminem, I'm pretty sure he's allowed, but that's because they consider him a legend. He talking about that talk. And I don't think it should have took Donald Glover's shout out to get the Migos to perform on these late night shows. Were they too black? The tattoos on the face? The dreads? That's the culture. And the reality of the situation is your kid listens to that music. I go around, I dibble and dabble, I live in different areas. I listen all the time. I'm listening to white people in their cars bumping trap shit I ain't even on. So let's not act like our culture is not the culture. It is. Rap is the new pop culture, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's absolutely a slap in the face to the Migos. I go by the name of Alfred Telefair. I want your comments to these blogs. This is what I do them for, your comments. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. My website, and you're going to have commentary like this and some. Because it's not just going to be on YouTube. I'm going to be doing vlogs on my site only. And I ain't gonna be no kind of censored there. It's MrTaylorFarrell.com. It's MrT.com, March 1st. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. Subscribe to my channel. Salute. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@MrTaylorFarrell.com. Again, that's booking@MrTaylorFarrell.com.